السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Al-Andalus Educational Complex, inspiring update education with national identity and Islamic values. Al-Andalus Primary Private School for Boys, English Department, Grade 4. Unit 6, Our World. Student book, pages 70 and 71. Workbook, pages 72 and 73. Objectives, الأهداف. We're going to identify new words. We're going to work out an exercise based on new words. We're going to identify how to ask questions in the past simple. We're going to ask and answer about activities and places in the past simple. We're going to ask and answer questions in the past simple. We're going to write sentences expressing the past. We're going to listen and circle the right answer. Vocabulary.
Module 6, Our World. 1. Vocabulary. Mountain, river, wall, bridge, famous,
Again, mountain, mountain, جبل, river, 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 نهر, wall, wall, سور, bridge, bridge, جسر, famous, 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 مشهور. Look and match. Bridge. Which picture? See, sir. Thank you. Wall. E, sir. Thank you. Mountain. B, sir. Thank you. Famous. D, sir. Thank you. River. River. A, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have two pictures and we have two texts. We have the timeless cities. Now listen, and we are going to match the texts to the pictures.
2. Read and match the pictures to the texts.
Timeless cities. Xi'an is a city near the Wei River and the Qin Mountains in China. Xi'an was also one of the 4 great cities of ancient China. It had many houses, markets, and beautiful gardens. There were big walls around the city too. Today, many tourists visit China to see Xi'an and the famous terracotta army of Qin Shi Huang. In old times, London wasn't the big city it is today. The Romans built it in 43 CE, and its name back then was Londinium. The city was near the River Thames, and it had walls around it. In those days, there weren't many bridges over the river. Today, there are many bridges, and you can see famous ones like Tower Bridge and Waterloo Bridge.
So we want to match the texts to the pictures. Picture 1 matches with the text B. And picture 2 matches with the text A. Text A is about an ancient Chinese city called Shan. It is a city near the Wei River and the Qin Mountains in China. And the second text is about London. The ancient London was called Londinium. It was built by the Romans in 43 CE. And there was a wall. It had walls around it. There weren't many bridges over the River Thames. Today there are many bridges. Thank you. Read again and tick. Shan, Londinium, London, Shan and Londinium, or London. The Romans lived there. London. There were gardens in this city. Shan. There are many bridges in this city. London. There were walls around this city. Both. London and Shan. Thank you very much. Look at the pictures, listen and draw lines. What was there in each city?
4. Look at the pictures. Listen and draw lines. What was there in each city?
Look at these pictures. They show Salt Lake City in Utah, USA, in 1910. It was a small town, and around 500 people lived there. There weren't any buses then. People used carriages. There was a big library in the city because people loved to read back then too.
This is my project about Los Angeles, USA. In the old times, Los Angeles wasn't a big city. Look at these pictures here. A girl is feeding the birds in the park in this one, and some men are riding their bikes in the other one. There weren't many cars on the streets, but many people had bikes.
So pictures D and A with 1 and C and B with 2. Pictures A and D with Salt Lake City and C and B with Los Angeles. Thank you.
Look, Majed wasn't at the sports centre yesterday. He was at home. They weren't at the park last Saturday. They were at the shopping centre.
Majid wasn't at the sports center yesterday. لم يكن. Wasn't. He was at home. They weren't at the park last Saturday. They were at the shopping center. I was at school yesterday. I wasn't at the park. They were at the zoo yesterday. They weren't at the amusement park. Was, wasn't. كان لم يكن. Were, weren't. لم يكونوا. Thank you very much. Look and answer. Were there any bridges? Yes, there were. Was there a shopping center? No, there wasn't. Were there any cars? No, there weren't. Was there a river? Yes, there was. Was there a wall around the city? No, there wasn't. Thank you. Look and write sentences. Look at picture number 1. children, school yesterday, playground. Where were the children yesterday? Where were the children yesterday? The children weren't at school yesterday. لم يكونوا بالمدرسة أمس. Where were they? They were at the playground. Number 2, picture 2, Bill and Fred. Where were they? Were they at the sports center yesterday? No, they weren't. Where were they? They were at the amusement park. So Bill and Fred weren't at the sports center yesterday. They were at the amusement park. Bill and Fred weren't at the sports center yesterday. They were at the amusement park. Number 3, where was Jill yesterday? Was Jill at the airport yesterday? Was Jill at the airport? No, she wasn't. She was at the park. So Jill wasn't at the airport yesterday. She was at the park. She was at the park. She was at the park. Thank you. Now we are going to listen and circle A or B. We have 5 questions. We're going to listen to circle the right answer, A or B.
Workbook, Module 6, Our World. 4. Listen and circle A or B.
Grandpa, our teacher told us that photographers travel a lot. Did you travel when you were a photographer?
Yes, I did, Saad. I think I visited about 40 different countries.
How many? 14?
No, 40.
Wow. What did you take pictures of?
Everything. Animals, buildings, bridges, even famous people.
Which was the best country you visited?
Well, every country was beautiful, but I really liked Qatar.
Qatar? Did you take photos of the buildings in Doha?
Yes, I did. I also took a boat ride along the Corniche. It was exciting.
Did you see any camels?
Yes, I did, but I didn't ride any.
Have you got a favourite photo, Grandpa?
I sure do. I have it here. Look.
Wow. The cars were really big back then.
Yes, they were. That was my favourite car.
Who's sitting next to you in the car, Grandpa?
It's your mother, Saad.
My mother? Oh, yes. Wow. She's really young in this photo.
So number 1, Saad's grandfather was a teacher or a photographer? A photographer. He visited about 14 countries or 40 countries? 40, sir. He took pictures of animals, buildings, and famous people. Buildings, walls, or bridges? Bridges, sir. Thank you. Saad's grandfather went on a boat ride or a camel ride in Qatar? A boat ride, sir. Thank you. Saad's grandfather shows him a picture of Saad's grandfather or his favorite car? His favorite car. His favorite car. Thank you. Now we have come to the end of our lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Goodbye.